All right, let's talk about something pretty much everyone has dealt with. If you've ever been on a finance team, or heck, even just an employee who had to get reimbursed for a coffee, you know the struggle. Trying to manage how a company spends its money is without a doubt one of the most universal and frustrating parts of doing business. Today, we're going to dig into how AI isn't just tweaking that old process, it's completely rewriting the rulebook.
And this quote just nails the problem, doesn't it? For social smarts. I mean, we all know this reality. You've got a wallet stuffed with crumpled receipts, you're trying to remember what that weird charge from 3 weeks ago was for, and finance keeps sending those gentle reminders about late expense reports. It's this organized chaos that for decades we all just kind of accepted as, well, that's just how it's done.
For so long, we were stuck in the old way, that frantic end-of-the-month scramble, all manual data entry and chasing down paper. But the promise of the new way is a world that's real-time, totally automated, and just seamlessly integrated into everything else. So the big question is, how do we actually get from here to there? I want you to really think about this for a second. What if the whole idea of an expense report just vanished? This isn't science fiction. This was the exact question that sparked the first huge wave of AI in the world of finance. Now, this first wave was all about one thing: automation. It was about using AI to crush the most tedious, repetitive task of all, reading all those messy receipts. And the technology that made it all happen is called optical character recognition. You've probably heard of it as OCR. So here's the simple breakdown. OCR is basically the magic that lets you snap a picture of a receipt and the software can actually read it. It can see the name of the store, the date, the total amount, and it turns that fuzzy picture into clean, structured data a computer can understand. And because of that, the whole process becomes ridiculously simple. Step 1, you just snap a photo of your receipt. Step 2, the AI instantly pulls out all the important data. And step 3, this is the best part. The system automatically matches that receipt to the right credit card transaction. No more typing, no more trying to remember what was what. It's just handled. And the results? They were pretty dramatic. Finance teams suddenly found they could close their books up to 3 times faster than before. The accuracy of the data jumped to over 99%. But maybe the most important thing was that it freed up smart, talented people to focus on actual strategy instead of just being human calculators. This was a huge, undeniable win for everyone. But this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. This is the part almost nobody talks about. You'd think that with benefits this obvious, every single company that adopted this tech would be seeing a massive return on their investment, right? Seems logical, yeah? I mean, powerful AI should lead to powerful ROI. But when you look at the actual data, you find a pretty shocking twist. For explorers, get this. This is the hidden pattern. Only about 5% of companies actually get a substantial return on their investment from AI projects. 5%. So what on earth is happening with the other 95%? Well, it turns out AI isn't some magic wand you can just wave. A lot of companies get stuck in pilot projects that go nowhere, or there's no clear owner. But here's the biggest trap of all. They just automate a workflow that was already broken. For strategists, think about it. They're not rethinking the process. They're just paving a bumpy old dirt road. Sure, it's smoother now, but you're still on the same inefficient path, just going a little bit faster. For settlers, this really brings us to a more realistic view of the journey because true ROI doesn't just show up on day one. Yeah, you'll see some quick wins and time savings in the first year, maybe a year and a half. But that meaningful financial impact, that can take closer to 2 or 3 years. And the real game-changing transformation, the kind that gives you a major competitive edge, that can take up to 5 years. The big takeaway here is that this is a long-term strategic game, not a quick tech fix. So if this is a 5-year journey, how do those top 5%ers actually pull it off? Well, they embrace the next evolution of AI. They move past simple automation and start building something way more powerful, an entirely new kind of AI team. And we need to be crystal clear about this because it's a huge, huge shift in thinking. The first wave was about automating tasks. This next wave, this is about true autonomy. It's a whole different ballgame. This new wave is powered by something called agentic AI. And maybe the easiest way to think about it is this. Automation follows a really strict script, kind of like a robot on an assembly line, doing the same thing over and over. An AI agent, on the other hand, is more like a digital team member.
It can look at a situation, use company policies to make a judgment call, and then actually take action, all by itself. So here's what that autonomous team actually looks like. You've got an expense agent that can build a whole report just by looking at your calendar and travel plans. Then, an audit agent scans every single transaction in real time. And it can even spot super sophisticated fraud, like fake receipts that were made by another AI. Finally, a reconciliation agent codes everything perfectly and pushes it to the accounting system. Each one has a job, and they all work together.
For explorers, and if you want a little peek behind the curtain at what's possible, check this out. There are AI agents right now that if they find a problem like a missing receipt, will autonomously hop into Slack and ping the employee directly to sort it out. It's literally like having a digital accounts payable clerk who works 24/7 and never gets tired. The impact is just staggering. That one little interactive agent can solve 90% of all those exceptions and issues without a human ever having to look at it. Just think about the sheer amount of time that frees up. So, where is all of this going? What's the ultimate strategic payoff for building an autonomous AI finance team? Well, it allows for a really fundamental shift in how finance departments operate. For strategists, the core concept here is called upstream control. And you can think of it like this. Are you building a dam or are you running a cleanup crew? The old way, finding and fixing mistakes weeks after the money is already gone, that's the cleanup crew. Upstream control is about building the rules directly into the system beforehand. The AI acts as the dam, enforcing those rules before a bad transaction can even get through. This slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old reactive way. Spend happens, you find errors, and you clean up the mess weeks later. But on the right, you see the new proactive model. You set the policy once, and the AI makes sure the data is clean and compliant from the absolute start. You're not cleaning up messes anymore. You're preventing them from ever being made. And the result of all this is pretty much the holy grail for every finance professional out there. That awful, painful, week-long fire drill known as the month-end close, it basically just goes away. It becomes a total non-event because the books are essentially closing themselves in real time every single day. Which, of course, brings us to the massive profession-defining question. It's a bit of a cliffhanger, really. If AI agents are handling all the day-to-day accounting, what's left for the humans to do? And this, right here, is the ultimate answer. The role of the finance pro completely evolves. It shifts from being a reactive number keeper to a proactive narrative builder. For social smarts, people in finance get to level up their careers. They get to stop just closing the books and start using this perfectly clean, real-time data to influence the actual strategic direction of the company. We're not just talking about a new tool here. We're talking about a whole new future.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.